Ever feel like job hunting is like a game where you don't actually know the rules?
Yeah.
Well, today we're grabbing the rule book.
Okay.
And get this, it's AI powered. We're doing a deep dive on using AI to totally crush your job search.
Nice.
And we've got insights from Dr. Jareau Almeyda.
Right?
This guy built like a whole online dance community before YouTube.
Wow.
So yeah, he knows a thing or two about staying ahead of the curve.
Definitely ahead of the curve. And what's so great is how he takes all this complex AI stuff and makes it like actually doable, you know?
Yeah.
He talks about ChatGPT, Google's Gemini,
Right.
tools that honestly anyone can use. And they can be real game changers for your job search.
It really is like having a secret weapon, right? We've all seen those articles like big companies using AI to streamline hiring.
Oh, yeah. He can be kind of intimidating.
Totally. But Jareau's point is, we can use those same tools. He even gives you like a step-by-step guide.
That's awesome.
One of the big things he talks about is using AI to really break down those job descriptions.
Yeah, and then you can tailor your resume to match.
Exactly.
Yo, smart.
He suggests like literally taking the job description, your resume,
Okay.
plugging them both into something like ChatGPT, and then you use a prompt like analyze this resume for this job description, highlight strengths and weaknesses, and then boom, the AI tells you what to emphasize, what needs work.
It's like having your resume reviewed, but by like a robot.
Exactly. But way cheaper, probably.
Right. And probably more honest feedback, too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like he actually suggests taking your resume, taking a job description, feeding them both into an AI.
And then what?
And saying, okay, AI, be brutally honest, how suitable am I for this role?
It's like having a recruiter give you the inside scoop, but you don't have to worry about, awkward networking events.
Precisely. And the thing is, he doesn't stop there. Dr. Almeyda is all about using AI to tackle those crazy long job descriptions, the ones that feel like they were written by a lawyer.
Don't even get me started. I swear some of them are designed to make you give up.
Right. But with AI, he says you can cut through all that jargon, get to the core responsibilities, the qualifications, all in plain English.
That alone is a game changer. But then he goes a step further.
Oh, yeah. He suggests using the AI to find weak spots in your resume, based on that summary we just talked about.
So you're basically custom tailoring your resume to each job, but without spending hours agonizing over every word.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, not harder. And get this, he even uses AI to generate potential interview questions based on, you guessed it, that same job description.
So it's like getting a sneak peek into the hiring manager's brain.
Exactly. Though he's really clear that's not about memorizing robotic answers.
Right, you still got to sound like a human in the interview.
Exactly. Dr. Almeyda is big on taking those AI-generated answers and then, making them your own. Because at the end of the day...
You got to sound authentic, right? Like you're not just spitting out lines from a script.
Absolutely. Authenticity is key. And this is where his next tip comes in. Dr. Almeyda loves using cloud-based documents to keep everything organized.
Oh, so like not just random sticky notes with interview answers scribbled on them.
Right. He suggests setting up a dedicated spot, maybe in Google Docs, and dropping all that AI gold in there.
So it's like your own personal job search command center.
Exactly. You've got the tailored resume points, the potential interview questions, even summaries of company research if you want to go that extra mile. He also talks about using AI to decode those job descriptions that are super vague.
Oh, I hate those.
The worst, where they're like listing all these skills, but you have no clue which ones they actually care about.
Yeah. You're just like throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something sticks.
Totally. But Jareau says tools like JobScan can help.
JobScan.
Yeah, you plug in your resume in the job description, and it does more than just keyword matching.
Oh, interesting.
You can actually get the meaning behind the words. Yeah. It'll tell you what the company actually values.
Yeah.
Even if they don't come right out and say it.
That's amazing.
Right. So it's not just about having the right keywords. It's about showcasing the skills that really click with what the company's looking for.
Is a game changer. And the thing is, he doesn't stop at just, fixing up your resume.
Right.
He's got ideas about using AI to actually make sense of these crazy long job descriptions.
Oh, tell me about it.
You know what I mean? Some of them are like reading a novel.
Seriously. I've definitely gotten lost in those things, trying to figure out what they even want.
Exactly.
So what does he suggest? How does AI help with that?
Okay, so picture this. You take that whole massive job description, and you feed it into ChatGPT, right?
Okay.
And you use a prompt like, summarize this thing but focus on the key stuff, like what they want you to do and what you need to have to even apply.
Oh, that's smart.
Right. And suddenly, boom, even the wordiest description turns into, like, bullet points.
Whoa.
Way easier to see what the job actually is.
That's so helpful, especially when you're applying to, like, a million places at once and trying to keep it all straight.
Oh, for sure.
It's like having a little assistant, organizing everything.
Totally. And get this, he doesn't even stop there.
Oh, there's more.
He takes it up another notch, right?
Okay.
He says you can use AI to figure out where your background might need a boost.
Oh, interesting.
Like, you could ask it, based on this job description, what skills should I really be highlighting? Or what do I need to, like, learn to be a better candidate?
That is wild. It's like having a career coach, but like digital.
Right. And it's not just about getting the job now. It's about constantly getting better, being more competitive.
So true.
Yeah.
So it's all about staying ahead of the game, right?
Exactly. That's what Jareau stresses. Being proactive.
Yeah.
Not just reacting to job postings, but, like, predicting what's going to be big next year and making sure your skills match that.
It's like instead of chasing after the job market, you're anticipating where it's going to be and making sure you're already there.
Exactly.
And speaking of being ahead of the game, we have to talk about this guy's background.
Well, you mentioned his corporate experience, but this is someone who lived through 9/11.
Working on the 85th floor of the World Trade Center, no less. Talk about adaptability, resilience.
I mean, to go through something like that and then reinvent yourself, build this whole other career.
It definitely informs his outlook, especially when it comes to navigating today's crazy job market.
Which, speaking of navigating, we're talking about a future where AI isn't just helping us find jobs, but it's on the other side of the table too.
Right, and that's a whole other level of mind-blowing.
Let's take a quick break. Want to equip your child with the skills of top global consultants? Don't let them fall behind. Raising Tomorrow's Leaders, The Consultant's Mindset by Dr. Jareau Almeyda is your guide to fostering essential skills in your children for their lifelong success. Available now on Amazon. Okay, welcome back.
So we're not just talking about, like, sprucing up your LinkedIn profile here. Dr. Almeyda's talking about a future where AI is basically calling the shots on both sides of the hiring process.
It's a pretty wild idea when you think about it. I mean, if companies are already using AI to scan resumes, why not take it all the way? AI doing first-round interviews, even negotiating salaries.
Hold on, so you're saying we're going to have AI headhunters going up against AI job seekers? Sounds like we're one step away from some kind of sci-fi movie, but also kind of cool if you think about it.
It's definitely closer than we think, that's for sure. But instead of freaking out, Dr. Almeyda is basically saying, hey, learn to dance with the AI.
Right. Don't fear the robots. Become their dance partner. But seriously, if companies are using AI to fill their candidates, wouldn't it make sense for us to try and get inside the mind of those systems?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one of the things Dr. Almeyda stresses. He says you can use AI to research companies, whole industries even, in a way we never could before. Like, you could literally ask it to summarize a company's whole deal, or get a feel for their competition, or even like what the market conditions are in their sector, stuff that used to take forever to dig up.
Man, that would be amazing for interview prep. Instead of just spitting back their About Us page, you could actually talk about their challenges, where they could be doing better, and show them you really get their business.
And it's not just about sounding smart in the interview. It's also about making sure the company, the role even, is the right fit for you. AI or no AI, it's still a two-way street.
Right. It's got to be a good fit for both sides. And that's where the human touch comes back in, don't you think? I mean, I love that Dr. Almeyda emphasizes this, rewriting that AI output in your own voice.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely don't want to sound like a robot in your cover letter.
Exactly. Authenticity, it's still super important. AI should just, help you be better at being you, not replace you entirely.
Think of it like this. It's like having a superpower research assistant who gathers all the intel. But ultimately, you're the one running the show, making the big decisions about your career.
Love that analogy. Speaking of running the show, can we talk about Dr. Almeyda for a second? I mean, we've mentioned his 9/11 experience, but this guy had a whole other life before he landed in the corporate world.
Oh yeah, before the fancy degrees and job titles, he was really into dance, actually.
Wait, really?
Seriously, he even built a whole successful dance video website. And this was way before YouTube was even a thing.
No way. So he was a tech innovator from the get-go.
Exactly. He traveled all over, built this whole community online, even met his wife through that dance network.
Wow, that's incredible. It really shows you, though, his entrepreneurial spirit, his ability to connect with people. I mean, those are such valuable skills no matter what field you're in.
For sure. And get this, after 9/11, he goes and gets not one, but TWO master's degrees. And then a PhD on top of that.
Seriously. That's amazing. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade. His story's like the ultimate example.
It really is. And his PhD dissertation was actually really cool. He studied teachers who'd been impacted by the COVID lockdowns, how they had to adapt their whole teaching style. And he used all this statistical analysis, even some machine learning, to analyze the data.
So he's been putting these AI tools to work in his own research, which just makes his advice that much more credible. I mean, it's one thing to talk the talk, but he's out there walking the walk.
100%. And even his career path itself is interesting. Business analyst, product manager, architect, researcher. He's even done some documentary filmmaking.
Wow, this guy's like a real-life Renaissance man. It's inspiring to see someone who's not afraid to just go for it, explore different passions.
It goes back to that adaptability we talked about earlier. In a world that's changing so fast, being able to tap into different experiences, see things from different angles, that's super valuable.
This has been eye-opening, for sure. But, Dr. Almeyda's ideas about AI being on both sides of the hiring process, that's a lot to think about. I mean, it makes you wonder, with all this sophisticated tech coming into play, how do we make sure that human connection, that gut feeling you're talking about, that it doesn't get lost in the shuffle? It's like, how do we make sure we're not just turning into, robots ourselves, even with all this amazing AI at our fingertips?
It's a worry for sure. But the thing is, Dr. Almeyda gets that. He actually talks about it. Yeah, he sees AI taking on more and more of the hiring process. But he also says it's super important to keep that human element front and center.
Which makes sense, right? I mean, even the smartest AI, it can't really tell you what's going to make you happy in your career, can it? It can analyze skills and job descriptions, all that stuff, but it can't analyze your gut feeling about a company's culture, right?
Exactly. A perfect score on some AI test doesn't mean you're going to love showing up at work every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
AI can match you with a job you're technically qualified for, but it can't tell you if you're going to feel valued there or inspired or like you're actually part of something that matters. Those are things only you can figure out.
Okay, so how do we even start to bring that human element back into the driver's seat, especially if we are using AI to help with our job search?
It actually starts before you even open up ChatGPT, believe it or not. Dr. Almeyda talks about this thing, he calls it self-reflection. Before you even start typing in keywords or asking for resume advice, take some time to think about what you really want.
Okay, so what are my non-negotiables in a job? What kind of work environment do I actually thrive in? That kind of thing.
Got it. What are you passionate about? What are your values, your deal breakers, all that good stuff?
Yeah.
Once you have a handle on those things, then you can start using AI in a much more focused way.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you've got your marching orders. Now the AI can help you strategize.
So instead of just asking, hey, AI, am I good enough for this job? I could be asking, hey, AI, will this job let me be creative and work independently since I know those things are important to me?
Now you're cooking. You can use AI to dig into company culture, read what employees are saying, even look at big picture industry trends, see if they match up with your long-term goals. It's all about gathering information, but then you got to filter it through your own wants and needs. You know what I mean?
So the AI is like this super-powered research assistant, but I'm the one who gets to decide what to do with all that research. I like that.
That's the spirit. You're the CEO of your career, remember?
Yeah.
And the AI, that's like your chief strategy officer, feeding you data, making recommendations.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you call the shots.
This has been amazing. We really went deep on this one, way beyond the usual AI job search tips, that's for sure.
Definitely did. We talked about how someone with Dr. Almeyda's incredible background uses these tools, but also how anyone out there can use them in a way that feels genuine, true to themselves.
And that's key, because even in a world where AI is everywhere, it's those human qualities, those things that make you you, that are going to make you stand out from the crowd. Remember, the goal isn't just to get an AI job, right? It's about finding the right job for you. And that takes a mix of knowing your tech and knowing yourself.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now go out there and crush it.